Hi, this is Harish here. Welcome to another episode of DB2 LUW HADR tutorial part 9. In this tutorial or tip that I want to provide is how the load index rebuild option with the load from null device with index rebuild option can solve global warming crisis. Yeah, you heard that correctly. The text is correct. It's going to solve global warming crisis. Let's see how. The scripts that I'm going to use are the examples, the data files, everything that is there available for free at db2luwacademy.blogspot.in. The URL for my YouTube channel is youtube.com/db2luwacademy. Sorry. You can reach me at db2academy@gmail.com. Sorry. Now this slide talks about the problem scenario. The problem scenario is, no, it's not about global warming. I was just kidding. Okay. The thing is how the load from null device with index rebuild option, like the indexing mode rebuild option. So you can use the load utility to load from a null device with the option index rebuild. It is a very fast alternative to the log index build. So whenever I was talking about HADR, we set this log index build on. The purpose for it is obviously we don't want, like in the primary, if you create index, if you reorganize index or table, the corresponding indexes has to be rebuilt on the standby when it is a takeover is happening. So that will bring up a lot of, like, that will add to a lot of takeover time, you know. So that's why you set this log index build on. For even at the table level also you can set it, or at the database level also you can set it. So that's the setting. But the rolling forward of the index log records is a very slow. It's a painstakingly slow process. The advantage with that is obviously the primary and standby are really close to each other in terms of log record replay. But you know, there is no good thing or a bad thing here. There is no good solution or a bad solution here. The solution that I want to provide here is, instead of using that log index build on, why not consider the load from null device? So that means it's not actually, it's invoking the load utility without any records to add and for replaying the index activities from primary to standby. So that can be used to replay the index activities from the primary, whatever is happening, to the standby without setting. Like you don't need to set log index build on. Let it be off. The index creation or the reorganization will be very fast on the primary itself, because no extensive logging is done. You don't need to plan for the transactional log space and all that. And all you need to do is just load from null device and provide the indexing mode as rebuild. So even though we have to, like, it's a kind of overhead on the primary side, but it is really fast. Load copy image restore on the standby is way too fast when compared to the replay of the log records, replay of the index log records. So yes, there is a limitation. So for a brief period of time, the primary and the standby are far away from each other. So if the primary crashes or something happens, your standby is going to be like lagging behind, and eventually that could be an issue for you. So it lot depends on the situation, right? So it's not like you know, if it takes 10 or 15 minutes to load that, if the load copy image takes 10 or 15 minutes, is it worth, you know? If the roll forward is going to take 2 hours, but if the load copy image is going to take 10 or 15 minutes, it's worth a shot, you know. So it depends on the situation. So the advantage is the indexes are not rebuilt during the takeover. Even if the log index build setting is off or on, it doesn't matter. So the thing is, we don't need to rebuild the indexes during the takeover, or even if the crash recovery, like, you don't need to do that. So that's the advantage. Okay. And yeah, this slide, this is the fun part. So how global warming is averted. Okay, let me come back to that. So this is my thought process, like how DB2 environmentalist DBA thinks. Okay, so there is something called as specific heat. So you need to understand what specific heat is. It is the energy that is spent to raise a unit of mass of any substance, like you can, for example, water, by 1 degree centigrade or Celsius, or whatever temperature. So the units may vary, so that's not the important thing. So so you need to spend, for example, 4.184 joules of energy to raise the, I think, 1 gram or 1 kg of water from, like, temperature T1 to temperature T1 plus 1 degree, to raise the temperature of some specified mass, like usually I think it's 1 kg of water, to raise it by 1 degree centigrade, how much energy you need to spend, right? How much energy you need to, in terms of heat, you have to provide that energy so that the temperature gets raised, right? So that is called a specific heat. So there is specific heat for your semiconductor devices as well. So servers generate a lot of heat by means of processing, and data centers spend a lot of energy, spend a lot of cost, spend a lot in infrastructure in cooling it. So it's like, cooling releases, the cooling technology that we use, like the air conditioning system, it's going to like pour, or it's going to like, release a lot of CFC, chlorofluorocarbons, into the atmosphere, and that is the root cause for the raising the temperature globally. I mean, that's some scientific thing that they are saying, so I'm not sure, but yeah. So what it has to do with DB2, okay, now this is the thing. So if you do a roll forward for the index log records, and I did it in my sample machine, I mean in my test laptop, and it's not a very powerful laptop, and I had 3 GB of data in the table, and I created 2 indexes with log index build on, and I did the roll forward. When I do the restore and roll forward, it took more than 1.5 hours, and it definitely raised the temperature of the CPU and the hard disk by 1 or 2 degrees, and it stayed at that level for more than 1.5 hours. So you do the math, like, calculate the energy spent in unnecessary processing. And load copy image, the same thing I did with the load copy image, it aged it in 7 minutes flat. Okay, where is 1.5 2 hours, and where is 7 minutes? That's fine with me. If 7 minutes, if I'm assuming the risk that the standby is not keeping up with the primary, that's fine with me, because I focus more on the energy savings. Okay, that's some funny thing. I'm not just, it's just a, just for fun. So I don't know whether I'm making like some loud mouth claims here. So but any case, it's a good thing to do. I mean, do that roll forward and check out your CPU temperatures, check out your hard disk temperatures. There is a sensor app in Windows and Linux. You can check that out. I mean, yeah, that's an interesting test case for me too, and I did it, and these are the results. But then mine is a very like it's not like a powerful laptop or something. It's not real server, So any case, as usual, let's get into examples. So here I have the okay. So here I have a CentOS machine, like this is a virtual machine. So this is going to, this has a HADR setup and everything. Okay, DB2 activate database HADR. Okay, this is a standby. So this is a CentOS machine. The instance is started. I'm activating the database. This is a standby machine, and this is a, okay, it takes a lot of time. Okay. Okay, done. And this is my other machine. This is a SolidX Linux machine. So all these are virtual machines. So this is going to act like my primary. So I have already started the instance. So I'm going to activate DB HADR here also. I mean, it's, yeah, recording is happening. 2 virtual machines is really slow. It's getting slow. Let's see. Hope my recording quality is good. It's not, messing up. Okay, so we have activated the database. So I'm going to connect to the database HADR, and this is my primary machine. So I'm going to do that. Okay, done. And let me check whether that table is there already. So db2 list tables. Okay, nothing is there. Okay. So what I'm going to do is create a table, and I'm going to load some data into it. 60,000 records I'm loading, and I'm saying copy as, it's a recoverable database, and I'm putting it in a shared location, and I'm committing. So let me just do that in one go. So copy that, go there and paste that. So it's creating a table, and obviously this is primary, so all the actions will be done in the standby as well. So the standby will also have this table and like 60,000 records in it. Okay. So then what I do is create the index on that table and create index two indexes, and I am also reorganizing the table, and I'm doing connect reset. So once I do this, it is going to generate it's not going to generate a lot of log records because the log index build is off. Okay, that's the whole idea. Okay, so go ahead and do that. Done. Okay, you are seeing everything is very fast here, like I'm not loading much. Okay. Okay, now I can go to the standby, clear the dialog, do the takeover, and you will see that once the takeover is happening, since we did not extensively log the indexes will be rebuilt during the takeover phase. So we can just easily check that out. Okay, so let's go to the standby, and I think that same file is there here too. Where is it? Documents. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so this is going to be my standby. So first I'll clear the dialog, and I'm going to issue this takeover command. Copy that, go to the dialog. So home db.inst1 sql lib db2 dump. Where is db2 dump here? Okay, dialog, open that file and just delete that, save that, clear that, done. Okay, now come back to the terminal, and there you go, do the takeover. So this CentOS box is going to become the primary, and the SolidX box is going to become the standby. And when this takeover is happening, now actually it is really slow because I'm doing the recording and there are two virtual machines, and so it's done. Okay, so let's go open up these files. I don't need that. I don't know why it created, but okay, open up the dialog, and you should be able to see that there you go. The indexes on the table staff are getting rebuilt. So the index 2 is rebuilt. There should be two indexes, right? Yeah. With IID 1 is getting rebuilt, and with IID 2 is getting rebuilt. This is the concern, right? So that is why we go for log index build on in the first place. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do this in a different way. So I'm going to connect to the HADR, and I'm going to drop the index IDX2. I'm going to create a new index IDX3 on the same table. I'm going to reorg the table. So let me do all that in one shot. Okay, do that. So you can see IDX1 and IDX2 is there. I have dropped the IDX2 and I have created IDX3, and I have also initiated the reorg. All done. Okay, super cool. Now if I do a takeover, right, from the standby, which is the old box, again the indexes needs to be rebuilt, right? So instead of that, on the primary, what I'm doing is load from null device. So it's not going to insert anything, even though I say insert. Copy as, put it in a shared location. The load copy image will be created there, and indexing mode rebuild, and do connect reset. That is what I'm going to do. This is one additional thing that I am doing on the primary box. After any kind of index activity, I can do that. Okay, so done. So no rows loaded, but the indexing mode is rebuilt, and it has rebuilt the index. So that is what I wanted to do here, right? So once I do that, I can go back to the new standby, okay, and clear the dialog and do the takeover. And when this happens, because we did this null device loading, right, there will be no index rebuild that is happening. That is what I want to check. Okay, now go back here and clear the dialog. Okay, so go to home db.inst1 sql lib db2 dump, go to the dialog, open that, save that. So you have cleared the dialog, done. Okay, come back here, takeover, do the takeover. Okay, so once you do the takeover, hit enter. It's going to take some. Okay, done. So the takeover, it really did very fast. Okay, let's go and look in the dialog. There you go. And see, even though there are indexes that are getting built, it is not on the staff table. So which is what I wanted to confirm to you. So STAFF, okay, yep, match case, don't match case, No, it did not find anything. Okay. So you can just have a look at it. So here it started, everything started. Standby has completed the takeover. It became the new primary and all these indexes that are getting rebuilt are some systool schema. Maybe if health monitoring was off, maybe these things might not have come, but that's fine. So it is not rebuilding the indexes of the staff table, which is what is important for us. Okay. Yep, it's not there. Yep. Okay. Yeah, let's do one more thing. So let's access the table, connect to the database and access the table, so that even that time also we want to make sure that sometimes during the access time it can rebuild the index, right? So we just want to eliminate that scenario as well. So close the dialog. So done. Reopen the dialog and just check that as well. Okay. Yeah, not there, not at all there. Okay, do a find staff, is not there. Like if I do a find for hmon underscore collection, yeah, it's finding. But if I do a find for staff, it's not finding it. Yeah, it's not there. Okay, so it did not do the index rebuild because the load copy image was there, and it helped it, and it is really fast, I'm telling you. Pretty much that's it. That's the tip that I wanted to provide. And there is also another way, which I will talk about eventually. You can do a table space redirected restore also. But then I'm not going to let us talk in a different video with a different demonstration for that. So that's about this channel. You want examples, so focus on small topics. We'll have the demonstration for that scenario as well. And yeah, that's it. So let me know. Thanks for watching this video, and let me know any inputs, any comments, and any better ways of doing it. Yeah. So let me know about that, and please subscribe to my channel, youtube.com/db2luw academy. See you in the next video tutorial. Until then, bye bye.